All right, if you've ever wanted to watch me go through one of my blog posts while drinking bourbon, today's the day. Let's get started on this. So it's December 28th, 2023, and I just pushed go on publishing a blog post on a little Python tool that I wrote to help me search favicons easier, right? What do I mean by favicons? Well, favicons are these cute little icons that we see in the top of our web tabs. And I think years ago, they were more about branding, looking a little more professional, like making your site stand out. But nowadays, right, here's my humble brag on having a lot of RAM on this system. You can see all the tabs going across the top. But I mean, seriously, look at that. I've got like 24 tabs across the top of my browser window, and you can only see the names on none of them, question mark. You can see a little bit of text on the ones on the right, but all the pinned ones, they're just down to the favicons. So if you're anything like me, right, these favicons are how we just kind of navigate across our browser on a daily basis. And we're all kind of used to them, but I think a lot of people forget that we can actually search by these, right, and incorporate it into our OSINT or our cyber threat intelligence investigations. Very similar to the way we use a profile picture on social media, right? You find someone's username across a bunch of social media sites. Well, there might be another site where that username was taken, right? Unavailable, whatever. Or for some other reason, they're using a different username there. And so searching by the username may not help you, but searching by the profile picture, right? Doing a reverse image search, if they're using the same profile picture, well, now we can find them. And it's the same thing with these favicons. We can really kind of enumerate infrastructure and do a lot of other things here. I think if we scroll down and see a few things here, potentially de-anonymize the true IP address of a site on the dark web. Talos in a blog post in 2022 talked about doing this as one of the ransomware blogs that on the dark web was using a favicon, did a reverse image search on it, or not a reverse image search, excuse me, the search Shodan, and boom, now find the true IP address of the site, right? And so there's a lot of things we can do against this. People gearing up for phishing attacks against your organization, right? You can detect that because they clone your website, Favicon included. We can, identify sometimes their infrastructure and then start seeing other people that they're gearing up for attacks against. There's a lot of different ways why searching by Favicon can be very, very useful. But it's like a little bit of a pain in the butt, right? Because you need to download the favicon, and you don't just want to like automatically write your code to assume that it's the most common name for it, because it can be a different name, it could be on the dark web, so you have to go through the proxy, etc. And so what this blog post is first things first, I explain what a favicon is. Then we talk about actually finding it on most sites, right? Like if we go here to kfc.com, and you can already see what the answer is here. But if we go to kfc.com, we go up here and go /FAV icon, right? Favicon, which is short for favorite icon, ICO. And now we get this cute little bucket of chicken, right? So once again, we have the bucket of chicken. And we have the little kfc.com /favicon as the what we actually searched by. That by far is the most common file name, which is right on the root of a file system for a web server where you will find here. I was looking for an example that wasn't this, and I had to go through about 12 sites before I found one that wasn't. And kind of comically, the site that I ended up finding it on was another fast food site, McDonald's. If we see here, McDonald's doesn't have the favicon saved as root. So in that case, what you need to do is actually view the source code of the page and start doing searches by icon, shortcut icon, right? And you see here, we end up very quickly finding a link with icon, content to exactly where the favicon.ico is. So no matter how you find it, the easy way or the little more difficult way, once you found it, it's as simple as just right click, saving that image like you would any other image, and now we have a copy of it on our system. Now that we have that, if we want to search it through Census, through Shodan, right, through Zoomai, we need to hash it. Well, which algorithm do we need to use? It depends, right? Census sticks with MD5, a very popular one, very, very common, and that's what they use to hash it. Shodan and Zoomai use a far less common, a far less popular, maybe a better term, a hashing algorithm, right? And we'll see this right here. So Census, it's just straight up MD5, and once you hash the favicon, it's just as simple as typing the search into a box on the site, right? We can see here, this is a hash of a little camera. icon used on a lot of popular web cameras, and we see here Census locates quite a few, over 100 of these devices online. So it's as simple as just searching the MD5 hash of the favicon in Census. Now, as we start to scroll down here, we see that for Shodan and Zumai, they actually use another hashing algorithm, Murmur Hash 3, which is usually referred to as MMH3 for short. Now, there's also a little bit of a syntax difference, right? We can't just Google that hash straight up. We need to provide a little bit of search syntax when we're doing this here too. So this is where the little Python tool that I wrote and posted on GitHub today comes in. And we can see it right here, posted on the Argalius Labs GitHub. There is a link in the blog post, which is, once again, my blog is digitalforensicstips.com. This will be the top one on here. But here's what it is. Let's actually check it out in action. So, Python favicon locator. First things first, it asks for the name of the favicon file. I have a few saved in here, but I believe I have the KFC one for Kentucky Fried Chicken. Favicon _ KFC. I named it that just because I had a few favicon.icos in here. And when we run that, you see it computes the MM3 hash. It computes the MD5 hash instantaneously, but then it actually shows us what the Shodan, Zumai, and Census search syntax is. The Census is easy. It's just the hash, but we don't have to go Google what the hash syntax is. It is seriously copy paste easy. So we want to go search it in Shodan. Well, we just download the favicon, run this, it hashes it, gives us this syntax. We can take this syntax, come up in here, and let's take a look at some KFC infrastructure. So found 4 results we have there. We see the little bucket of chicken right there, KFC and testkfc.com, right? Same right here, KFC Philippines. And they all show internal server errors. So I rate their infrastructure F for finger licking good, right? But you kind of see the potential here and you see the power. You talk about de-anonymizing dark websites and the cool things we can do with it. A lot of people know Shodan. Less people are familiar with Census, and even less people, I think, are familiar with Zumai. But Zumai does a really good job with these favicon searches as well, too. So if we come back here and look, zumai.org search syntax, you see icon hash, then a colon, and then in quotes, the actual same hash that we would use for Shodan. So we'll take this, copy that, come here to zumai.org. We will paste that in there, do a search. And we see, in this case, the same 4 results. And some of the other favicons that I've looked for have had a ton of results in here, hundreds, thousands, etc. Right? This one, fairly straightforward right here. So the next time you're looking at a site, right, and we're trying to tie it to different sites, and there's a lot of things that we teach in my SANS Sec 497 OSINT course, historical whois, analyzing DNS data, right, all of these things to tie one site to another. Don't forget about the favicon. Like I said, it's one of those things that we use every single day, especially if you're like me and have a ridiculous number of tabs across the top of your browser. But don't forget about that, right? Don't forget about using the favicons in your research. So quick, easy, kind of going through the blog post. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you do anything really cool with this, right, if it helps you out in your investigations and you're like, oh, hey, I was able to find this, let me know. Post it in the comments. I love to see that type of stuff and kind of incorporate it into my examples, right, of how these things help me out in the real world. So if you have any questions, hit me up and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.